Today, we discuss how to handle the 108s in your Superflex Dynasty Rookie Draft. We may be in the middle of the tier. Are we looking to stick and pick? Are we trying to trade out of this? How are we handling the potential to gain value by staying here? Or potentially lose it if the tier falls out from underneath us? Stick around for all that and more. And welcome into the Dino Construction Podcast. Justin joined with David and JP, part of our rookie pick series. We do this every year, and what we're doing is we're picking a player for every slot in the first round of the NFL draft. So far, we've got Jeremiah Love, Tate 2, Lemon 3, Tyson 4, Mendoza 5, Concepcion 6, and Sadiq at 7. We're going to talk what to do at the 108 here. We kind of view this as the middle of a tier, starting from the 106 or 107. JP, I think, has Concepcion a little bit in a tier of his own there, to the 109. But seeing 6 wide receivers get first round or top of the second round draft capital, 2 spots that we actually view as keeping them in this tier, we could see this tier shrink a little bit, right? Who we're actually confident in post NFL draft. So before we really talk about who we're considering picking here, let's just say, do we want to stick here? Do we want to stay at this spot? I know we've talked in previous videos about how it starts to be less comfortable. David, what you doing here?
Yeah, I don't know how many 108s I have, but I have sent out many of offers with every 108 that I have. I don't really like this spot in the draft. There's just a lot of risk in an already shaky tier, so I don't really want to be sitting in the back half of it right now.
Can you walk the audience through a couple different types of trades that you're looking to make to get out of this pick?
In one league, I actually have an inbox offer from both of you that's been sitting there for, I don't know, a month or two.
I'm going to reply someday, I promise.
I believe you. First thing I did is I sent it out for 27 first everywhere. Anyone that has one, I don't care if they're trying to rebuild, they can decline it. That's fine. We'll move on. I sent it for every first I could, wherever I had one. Then I start targeting veteran production I need. There's a league where I need a running back. I'm trying to add something to my 108 to get a decent running back. We've talked about this through these videos. It's been a bit of a struggle. The other place, I'm being more patient because I'm really still trying to rebuild in that one. I'm trying to compete where I'm trying to get a running back. The other one that's on the top of my head, I am trying to rebuild. So I'm really going to try to get a future first out of it. I don't know if that's possible. We'll explore that possibility once I've given up on that, if I have to give up on it, though.
All right. And JP, how are you handling this pick? And feel free to give a contender slant on it as well if you have a strong opinion there.
I think this range in general, 106 through probably even 109, I think you're better to wait till after the NFL draft, because if we truly do get 6 first-round wide receivers, you're going to have people in your league that are like, oh, I'm a big Omar guy, or I'm a big Denzel Boston guy, or Jonah Coleman's RB2. I think there's a lot of ways that this 108 can still be very attractive when on the clock. So if I'm contending, I'm probably going to hold out hope that Jonah Coleman goes on day 2 to a great spot. And then in that scenario, I can see him being drafted top 20 in redraft. He's an exciting rookie with a good spot at that point. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to bank on these wide receivers on a contender. So if I need wide receiver, I'm going to shop that pick around. I'm going to try to see if I can get maybe a Jalen Waddle at this point. At this point in the draft, I'm a little bit more open to a player like that. I might want a little bit of a sweetener. But if I need running back, honestly, I might just hold out.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good advice. Rookie Fever has, I think, increased the value of 26 first. Still not to where a first in the current draft class is usually worth, but compare it to a month ago. And I do think another month of the news cycle and people actually potentially being able to make picks and get that dopamine rush will increase the value. So I think that is solid advice. If you can get a 27 first, JP, you're doing that every time at this pick, right? At this point. But if he can't get the 27 first, then probably holding versus what you can get in veteran production now. We think you can get more post NFL draft, although there is a little risk. That's not true, but right now it's not necessarily getting the most. So who are we considering here? We have 4 names here: Denzel Boston, Omar Cooper, Eli Stowers, and currently our RB2 in the class, Jonah Coleman. Of course, we're going to listen to the NFL draft on who RB2 should be. Let us know in the comments below if you have somebody else at that position. I'm going to make a brief case for Omar Cooper here, 22-year-old wide receiver out of Indiana. good advanced metrics. Love anybody north of 2.5 yards per route run, which he has. David and JP have both made great cases for him in previous episodes. We've been talking about him for a while. He was potentially in consideration at 106, definitely in a serious consideration at 107. And I think he should be the pick here at the 108 because we expect him to very likely be a first round wide receiver. If he's not a first round wide receiver, the spots at the top of the second are places where he has the potential to easily be the alpha, right? If he goes to a Tennessee, if he goes to a Las Vegas, right? If he goes with first round draft capital, very interested. Great with the ball in his hands, as David mentioned, that Matt Harmon compared him just from the after the catch balls in hand standpoint to Jamar Chase and Malik Neighbors in our last video that we did. And he's just a champion player. He's got pedigree, right? I like players that win too. And I think the NFL likes players that win. And I think that's why he's likely to get selected in the first round. When you look at the production and the draft capital that we think he's going to get, I think it's just a no-brainer to take a player that I think has the highest ceiling of anyone on the board because I think Boston's a little more prototypical X. And while it comes with high ceiling games, it comes with inconsistencies. And I think Omar Cooper will be a smoother ride.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in here, make a case for running back Jonah Coleman. Like Justin said, we're not exactly sure he'll be running back 2 in this class. We do have him here right now, mostly based on pretty darn good career efficiency marks. Had a little bit of a down season last year, but in 2024 had a really good season. Thought he might even declare after the 24 season, would have been a nice sleeper pick for us. Decided to come back, and unfortunately, it started off really strong, but didn't have a great season. Got injured. I don't want to blame the struggles completely on the injury. Probably played a role in it, but still didn't have terrible efficiency marks. But you look at the whole career, and he looks like someone who could be a 3-down back. A little bit smaller, but still pretty darn well built. Not going to be your home run hitter. No top end speed, really. But he's going to be a very good, consistent player. He's going to be able to do it as a runner and a receiver, I believe. So if he gets top 50 draft capital in a good spot, I think he could rise up these boards quite a bit. If he goes in the 3rd round, still in a good spot, I still think he's going to be a late first. I still think he has a shot at RB2, but just going to have to see how it goes with the NFL draft. But right now, pretty strong lean towards Jonah Coleman at RB2 for me.
I'm going to make a case for a player that I think has been getting a lot of hate lately. He's been slipping a little bit, and that's wide receiver Denzel Boston. I think that he's still a really good wide receiver prospect. He has really good ball skills. Like the contested catch rate for him is awesome. He had a 76.9% contested catch percentage. That's great. On the career, it's 61.1, and that goes alongside a 3.6% drop rate. So truly has great hands with a huge hulking frame at 6'4", 212 pounds. Even has a little bit of versatility. Played nearly 20% of his snaps in the slot. So I think he's obviously going to be more of an outside X wide receiver, but I do like that there is a little versatility to his game. Even played some punt returner, which is shocking. He had 20 receiving touchdowns over the last 2 years. I mentioned the contested catch rate, right? And I think a lot of people think that's all he is. But man, at that size, 6'4", 212, and Matt Harmon's perception data, 80th percentile versus press. That's awesome. 72nd versus man. That's very good. Like the wide receivers that have the 90 plus percentile success rates, those are usually the smaller guys, 5'11", 6 foot. He's 6'4", so you have to adjust in your mind a little bit that he's not going to be quite that player. So these success rates are very impressive for a player of his size. And also, he's a really good blocker. I've talked about previously on different episodes that there's going to be more for personnel in the NFL. We've seen that trend. So if you're just a slot wide receiver, you're losing snaps. He is going to be on the field. He's a really good blocker, and he can play outside X. I think he can play flanker and even some slot as well. So he's the wide receiver 5 or 6 in this class. I'm very happy with that. Even if he falls to the top of the 2nd round, I think the Titans and the Raiders are great landing spots that very much need wide receiver too. Honestly, if I have to make a bet on him pre-draft, I'm very happy to make that bet on him.
Yeah, can't blame you there. So before we make a pick out of these players, we're going to go and we're going to man the phones, and we're going to look at different trade options that we have available. These trades are either from leagues we are in, or they are being pulled from dynasty-daddy.com. So we're seeing the 108 and the 105 for Devon. It's hard in them streets buying running backs with these picks. I think that's a pretty good package for 2 picks in this draft. It's certainly tempting. JP, you've been a big Achane guy for a while. Are you taking this?
I really do like Achane a lot. Elite running back, but man, without Mike McDaniel being there, it's risky. He's a great pass catcher. And Malik Willis, he is going to be a scrambling type of quarterback, and those kind of players do not throw to the running back a ton on checkdowns. I'm going to stick with the package for now because I valued Achane as 2.5, close to 3 first before. I think this is about 3 first of value because I got 2 first of value for the 105. And I think a lot of people will. I'm still going to value that until I'm told that I can't get that. So I'm going to hold the package right now and not pay that yet for Achane.
2 videos ago, we were talking about the 106 and the 27 first for Jonathan Taylor. And while I didn't take Jonathan Taylor, I almost talked myself into it. I'm happy to pay this for Achane. I really am if I need a running back. There's a ton of risk. There is. That offense is not going to be good. That team's not going to be good. There's a running quarterback there. There's a new coaching staff. But they don't have anybody on that offense right now. Who else is going to make plays for them? They're going to have to get him involved. And when he's involved, he's making big plays. He's a big part of the passing game still. They're going to be playing from behind. Am I going to try for Janty Hampton 101 first with this package? Sure. If I get turned down on them, though, I'm happy to send this for Achane if I need a running back.
Yeah, I never like paying for running backs, but I think that this is a price I'm pretty willing to pay as well. Agree that it's a bit, but I don't think it's too much. Next, we have 108 and 408, or the 112 and the 212. We're dropping out of a tier here. David, do we like dropping out of tiers for just a 212, basically?
So if you do the math looking at the 4 players we have on the big board, that gets you to 111. So we're talking about probably RB3 or Ty Simpson at 112, most likely. I don't love the back end of the second enough for me to want to make this deal. If that was 111, I'd at least think about it. But I'm going to miss out on everybody on our big board at 112.
Yeah, I do not like the second round this year. I really don't. The year before, we were getting like Bashal Tootin in 210, 211. I think, David, you might have even gotten him at 212 in a league. And I was sitting early third trying to trade him up. And you're like, he's here. Nope, I'm not going to trade it that away. I'm going to take the 108 here because I think 112, we could be sitting in a pretty gross spot. And I don't want to be sitting in that gross spot.
Pretty simple. I'm on the same page. Next one, we have a pretty steep price for Malik Willis, though 108. Willis does have a lot of upside. I'm out. David, you saw him from a fan standpoint as a Packers fan last year. Any chance you're paying this for him?
If you could guarantee me they're not going to take a quarterback in the 2027 draft, then I think this is a fair price. But you cannot make that guarantee. And it seems very likely they're going to be in a position to take a high-end quarterback in next year's draft. For that reason, I can't pay this price.
If you're the Miami Dolphins, you're picking top 5 next year's draft. How can you not take a quarterback? If there really is 3 or 4 good quarterbacks, because Jeremiah Smith, even if you're the 5th pick, Jeremiah Smith's probably going like 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. So you're probably getting the 2nd, 3rd best quarterback in the class. Maybe if there is a good 4th. Yeah, I don't feel confident in Malik Willis just as a prospect. Not that confident. The situation, especially not confident. And then after the Jalen Waddle trade, yeah, he's really not set up for success. Not that confident in him long term at all. So see him as just a spot start. And if I need a spot start, give me Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, right. We are in full accordance there. Last, we have the 108 big boy trade. Bijan and Jamo Williams for the 105 and Jamarvelous Chase. I'm going to let somebody else take the first crack at this one, but I'm leaning the right side.
Yeah, I'll go for it. I think it's relatively fair. I prefer Chase. I still think the 105 we talked about is a great position to be in this draft. It's a different tier than the 108. I do prefer Chase to Bijan by probably a bigger margin than most people in the community. And I just don't care that much about Jameson Williams. If it was a different receiver in that value range that I liked, I'd probably maybe lean that side. But I'll take the wide receiver one overall potentially for the next few years. I know there's other competition, but I'll take him and I'll take that tier 2 pick for now.
I'm a little bit more pro RB, especially like Bijan. Like I might put him in the same tier as Jamar Chase, honestly. You're seeing it in startups. Like they're going around the same range, if not Bijan earlier. And I'm okay with it. But yeah, no, I don't want Jameson Williams to value him as a first when I've said that the 105 you can get close to 2 first in value. Like we've said before with the 105 video, I got Emeka Egbuka, and I think he's about 2 first of value. So give me that side, and also it clears up an extra bench spot for me too, consolidating.
Yeah, I think I'm going the Chase side as well in a vacuum. But if I do need RB, say I have one team where I have, it's insane, but I have Chase, Amon Ra, Puka, and like Lad McConkey and AJ Brown, and my RB room is like murkier. I know I'm like just preaching to the choir. Everyone has these problems, but I have one team out of 17 where I think just based on my construction, I'd be very happy to go the Bijan Robinson route. But I think on every other situation, unless I'm truly just like RB poor and I'm just like somehow have a glut of wide receivers, I think it's got to be the Jamar Chase side for me too. I know, is it Field of Doubts that's flaming us, or David Covington in the listener league who keeps flaming us on our RB valuation being too low? But screw them RBs. All right, so now that we've talked a bunch of trash about RBs, let's talk about how we're not taking one here. You guys heard me make the case, and you heard JP make the case. So, David, walk us home with who we are taking here. Break the tie.
Yeah, I made a case too, but I guess it just wasn't strong enough to be remembered. That's okay.
Oh, that's because you're not the main character. I forgot
You're
you made
very
this
right
too.
about that, my friend. I am not the main character. If I am, this is not a good story. Anyways, moving on. We are taking Omar Cooper here. We've been making a case for him the last few videos. We each got to speak on him a little bit. So if you want to know why you heard Justin's case in this video, I made one in the last video. JP made one in 106. Someone we all like a lot here. And if things fall the right way, I still feel pretty good about all 8 of these picks.
Yeah, I think it's a solid first 8 off the board pre-NFL draft. Hoping it stays that way. It very rarely does, but I do think that these wide receivers could get early round 2 landing spots that don't necessarily knock their value because they're more likely to be the one potentially in a couple of those spots. So let us know if this is your 108. If you disagree with any of our picks so far, let us know if you have any trade questions with the 108. And thank you for joining us for another episode of the Dino Construction Podcast. We hope you found this as helpful for you as it was for us. Please remember to like and subscribe wherever you listen or view. And from all of us here at the Dino Construction Podcast, until next time.